For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a review video on a new tent from Outwell. So with me here today, I've got the Outwell Monterey, the 4 Air and the 5 Air. So basically I'll go through the features of the models. This on display is we've got here is the 4, so the 5 is essentially exactly the same every single way. The real difference is actually it's a little bit wider. So this main body is 260 wide, whereas it goes up to 320. So living areas depth, bedrooms, canopy depths, all exactly the same. So everything we're going to discuss is the same depending on whether you want to go for bigger or smaller. So the Monterey sits in kind of Attwell's select collection, so it's a collection designed to be very price orientated, but still very feature rich, and so that you don't lose any of the sort of the quality of how it's put together, but they sort of maybe strip back on some of the elaborate features that we've kind of known Attwell to be, and give you the core fundamentals. But actually, when you could put it in comparison to a lot of other brands, it actually is still quite feature heavy in comparison. So crucial details like all the doors, well, the main door zips along the bottom, and you've also got your mesh built in there, so you've actually got a thorough feel to it. The canopy depth, the way they work in terms of the guy up points going directly into the seam or spreading the load. So we'll discuss that through the video. So first and foremost, we're running with about a 70D fabric, so it's a nice standard fabric. 4000mm hydrogen head, so obviously it's really nice and waterproof. So again, that's probably a bit more than you'd expect from its kind of competitor models. It's air, and it's all a bit of a hybrid really, so it's quick and easy to pitch. So I've pitched this model on my own in the best part of 10 minutes, and we've done our own sort of pitching and packing video you can check out as well. It's more of a tutorial video, talking you through it every single step of the way, just make it life a bit easier as well. There's 3 air chambers, so you've got 1, 2, 3. They are basically inflated individually. You've got an access point located on the outside here as well, and it's like a dinghy style kind of valve, so really big, so it's great getting air in and also get the air out. A manual pump comes supplied with it as standard, so you haven't got to worry about that. And then the fiberglass poles, literally it's pre-arced. You've only got one, so you haven't got to worry about where it goes. But helps obviously increase the sort of size and give you that extra bit of front canopy. Now, the ability obviously in a 4 and a 5 gives you I suppose you make it as big or small as you want it to go. Personally, I quite like the compactness of the 4. I think if you're looking for more like a couple's tent, I think it ticks a box. You know, you can use this for sort of weekends or weeks away. With the 5, it's a little bit wider, so it's just going to accommodate more people. You want a little bit extra space, then that's probably not a bad option itself. We've still got core features, so we've got a really nice kind of embossed fabric. So it's a polyester material, but again, we've got things like the wind stabilizer system. So it's this point where actually the fabric wraps around the fiberglass pole and then pulls it through. So that way, when you're pegging and guying it out, you're pulling the material as well as the pole rather than it all going on one, you know, just on the pole itself. So it's more connected. It's proven to be a lot more sturdier in kind of winds. The front canopy can also be reduced in size if you want to do so. This front section from there forwards can roll back if you want it to be more of an open affair. Personally, I think I would always kind of have it out, but you've got that option if you really wanted to. Fiberglass poles as well, so it's a little bit, the way they're made are a little bit different to other brands as well, so it's a little bit stronger than you necessarily will find, and because it's pre-arch as well, it helps to increase the height, and that's one thing you can see certainly in the main living area, for example. Bedroom height is, the main height is actually quite good, and it does slope down a little bit towards the back section. Your side guide points obviously have a really nice adjuster, makes it really easy, and it's kind of Outwell branded, so it means you haven't got to repeg it to get that extra bit of tension, and the guy ropes will slacken off a little bit when you first sort of pitch it. But more importantly, it's actually into the seam in 2 different places. So A, it make sure you're pegging the right angle, but it's spreading the load. I mean, you know, it's going to be a bit stronger for years to come. We've got this little taggle point here, so it's an optional canopy you can buy for it as well. You've got the tarps, you can like a tarp N or the L. For this 4, you're probably better with the M. Just gives you an extra bit of space as well if you wanted to as well. So, but the tubes are really nice strongness or CPU tube, so really well tried and tested. Attwoll in general, you find you have a 2-year warranty on the product as well, which is probably most of the brands is what you will find. We've got tinted windows on the side here, so we can see a little bit of light get in, but you've got that element of privacy as well. I mean, you can see into it. It's not going to be completely tinted, but it does help to give it a bit more of a kind of a premium feel on the whole. And once we kind of come around the front, the canopy depth is quite decent. You know, it's about 105 in total. And also a point is the difference between, say, the weight of the 4 and the 5. I think the 4 from memory is about 19.7. I think it's 21.9 for the 5. So there isn't a huge amount of difference between the two sizes. The door itself is centralized, which means you've then got windows on either side. So a little bit of privacy, so with the tinted windows at the front and the mesh panel directly at the top. So you've still got a bit of airflow in. And inside you also have toggle up curtains. So when you want to get that element of privacy, you can quite happily do that as well. But more importantly, for me, is one of the fundamental things which you don't see in other brands is this front door configuration. So the joys of this is actually, we call it like a J door, so it zips around and down. But more importantly, this, knock anything over. There's a zip located on the bottom of the door, so that actually rolls up and zips the mesh panel. So you do have a fundamental proper seal on that front door. Now you will find not many brands have that, certainly when it comes to this kind of price pointed collection. You do see it on a lot of top end stuff, but that's one thing that makes this different, in my opinion. So much more thoroughfare, nice sort of mesh as well. So it means when you have a light on at night, you haven't got to worry about sort of bugs and everything coming in. And because you've got that little extended canopy on the front here as well, you also means that even if it is raining, you can still have that mesh kind of involved. And it is kind of a rain safe door in and out, so you haven't got to kind of worry about that. In fact, let's kind of bring the camera around just to have a look a bit more down the front of it. So, like I said, trip-free access directly in, so it's great for wheelchairs or even little kids coming in and out. Space-wise, the overall sort of depth is about 160, so it is a sort of an ample depth. We've currently got sort of two sort of chairs in here and a little sort of table. Carefully move that across. So, it's not a huge amount of space, but if it's going for a weekend camping, it's ideal. If it is more couples, then probably you could quite happily live in here if you wanted to. Crystal clear PVC windows on either side, so again, you've got lights coming out forever. So from both sides and obviously from the front as well. But again, headroom, I'm 6'2", can stand up in here quite happily. So that works really nice, and that helps to make it feel a bit bigger than you probably would expect it to be. We've got a cable entry point located on the front as well, so you can get your mains hook up directly in without having to worry about leaving the door open. Also, with the tubes itself, we find it's a decent sort of size tube. So it's running around about sort of 10 centimeter, which is really quite nice. But what also Outwell do is they have a special kind of stabilizer system inside. So there's little Velcro points here located at the top, and when I bring the camera in later, I will show you this. And it's designed to give a bit more strength, and also means that the inner tube isn't sort of twisting in the frame, so there's less movement, so naturally it just gives a bit more stability. We've got a sort of a 2 and a 2 bedroom with the 4. When you move to the 5, it's a 2 and a 3. They are a bit more compact, I would say, so I wouldn't say it's probably a true 4-person tent. It's definitely going to be more of a comfy, well, a very comfy 2 or even a 3 for that matter, just because you're running about a 120 bedroom either side. But the bedroom itself, you've got mesh built onto the front of it, which obviously you've got a zip on the inside to obviously allow airflow or get that element of privacy you wanted to. We've also got cable entry points into the main bedroom itself, so it runs down the bottom, so you can also have lighting into there without having to worry about leaving the door open itself. And there's also storage pockets built into the front of the bedroom as well, so you can obviously utilise that. Attwoll also use what they call their hook track system, so it's like a piping beading that basically feeds around the tube itself, allows you to have sort of lighting around, or of course have it for hanging points. So that's located on this front beam here. We have utilised kind of the little bedroom hanging points just to add a little bit more lighting to make it feel a bit more homely and kind of festival-like. Another thing that you would probably wouldn't expect on this kind of, we'll say, more entry-level tent is Outwell's quick and quiet door. So it's a magnetic door that allows you to kind of come in and out of the main bedroom, i.e. the one on the right-hand side here, without having to use the zips. So it's something they use on their premium tents, so actually even in what Outwell call their kind of more entry-level market stuff, you still get that level of feature. And again, when you compare that to a lot of other brands, be it Van Gogh Camper, Outdoor Rev, you don't get something like that as well. So that's something that is quite nice. The bedroom's actually a surprisingly bit deeper than you would expect as well. So about 240 deep. So it means that you could, in theory, probably get, might be a bit tight, but probably get like a small little camp bed up. So the joys of going longer is that when you've got that slope at the back, you can still accommodate for that. So if you imagine, obviously, you've got like the higher you go, the more space you lose because that's like slope. So having that deeper bedroom works really quite nicely. Strong tubes, headroom height, like it dips down a little bit. We've also got a little ventilation point at the back there. There's a little kind of screen which you can open up from the inside just to get that vision out. But on the back of the tent, we've got this nice big open vent. In fact, let's bring the camera in actually, just to give you a bit more of an up close and personal. So, like I said, we're talking about the canopy depth. You've got a cool box kind of located there just to kind of show you how deep it really is. But it's perfect for kind of just taking the edge off, giving that protection for that rain safe door. So we've got that drop down lip at the front, so we haven't got any trip hazards into the actual tent itself. And then we've got the two stage mesh on the top and then PVC windows on beneath it. So you still have an element of airflow. A bit of Outwell branding to kind of keep it real nice and tidy. We've got obviously sleeping mats directly in there. There is a divider between two sections, so what you find is just a toggle divider. So basically toggled in at the sort of top and the bottom. It is stitched in at the top as well, so actually when you want to have it open, you can roll it up to the top and it would just become one big open bedroom. We've got a little ventilation point at the back which you can probably see, so that's twinned up with the vent or the mesh on the outer side of the tent to kind of keep it all neat and tidy. We've got storage pockets located in the front, and also a bit of lighting in here as well. But that whole kind of mesh at the front to obviously maximise airflow works really quite well. On the side windows, curtain located down the bottom. Also, you can then have it halfway if you want a bit of privacy, or fully at the top with these extra points. Here we've got the sort of hook track system. So it's a bit of point there, which actually you have clips that can cling directly onto that. You can use it for lighting to go across the top, or have it as a hanging point. And then we've got the Velcro tabs. That's really good to help sort of stability, keep the tube itself nice and strong and stable. Cable entry points located on the bottom here, so that's your main cable entry point into the actual model itself. There even are little Velcro tabs on the side here, so you can run the cable, keep it out of the way, so you've got less of a trip hazard. And then we've got obviously storage pockets located here as well, and that's the cable entry point into the main bedroom, so it is on that right hand side. Or you have the pockets on the outer side, which is just into the bedroom. Just destroying a tent. As we kind of come out, we'll head round to the back. Well, so for me, it's also like, for example, the detailing on things like your webbing straps here. So this front point actually is a webbing that runs all the way through into the seam. So when you're actually pulling it, you're pulling into directly the seam here at point, rather than it just pinching on the outer side. But so you've got the back beam located there, but it sits really quite nicely. And then you've got this option of this real nice big open ventilation point directly at the back. So you can have it fully open like we have here. Of course, if you want to, you can untoggle that. Trying to do this one-handed is not easy. You can zip that closed if you really want to, or alternatively, it will prong itself out with a little bit of a stabilizer, so you have got the ability to make it as you want to. All the bottom points actually have webbing straps as well, so you can keep it pegged and then just tension it kind of as you need to. It does utilise Outwell kind of call it kind of their care and choice, so it's a nice polyester fabric, but the way they actually waterproof it is a much more eco-friendly way of doing it. So again, it's just using less sort of PVC material to kind of keep it all nice and tidy. But on the whole, I think the Monterey is a nice model. I think something small, compact, like I said, but still quite very feature rich. So I think the main thing is when you say look at the differences from this in comparison to what else on the market, I think you can, it's going to be probably a little bit more money, but you can see where that money is going to, i.e. with the zip on the bottom, with the hook track system, with the stability, the way it's put together, how they seal the ground sheets is a little bit different to every brand. Little Velcro tabs running from the cable entry point to the bedroom section, the deeper bedrooms that matter, the mesh built onto there. So you've got all these features that do sort of tally up, and that's the question, you have to add 50, 100, 150 pounds more than equivalent brand, and that's where I think Outwell have done really well, I think, to keep it at a quite a keen price point, not costing the earth, but still not sacrifice all the features that maybe a lot of other brands do to kind of still make it, a quite an attractive price. So I think for what you pay for what you get, generally I think the whole Select collection in general works quite well, and this model in particular, I think just ticks a lot of boxes. Small, compact, brilliant for weekends or weeks. So it's certainly one we look to have up our indoor display showroom, so you can always come and check it out, hopefully at our shop. For more information, of course, follow the link below this video. Take you straight through to the website. We have all the information on latest pricing, pack sizes, floor dimensions. Everything's all located there, so you can probably do your research and make sure it's going to be the right product for you as well. But that's kind of our video review on the brand new Outwell Monterey in the 4 Air and also the 5 Air. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon in our next Attwoolls Outdoors video review.